A major showdown over sex, sports, and state power. The fallout after the Department of Ed slams California for violating Title IX by including transgender athletes. And with the president of the Chicago Teachers Union said that it's stirring a lot of controversy. Joining us now to discuss is Erika Sanzi, Director of Outreach for Defending Education. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Well, the Trump administration just ruled that California basically crossed the line here, violating civil rights law by letting transgender girls compete in girls' sports. This seems like a slam dunk win, actually, in this case. But what do you make of the decision, and what's going to come next here?
Yeah, this is a huge deal because what they're essentially saying is that the Department of Education in California and the California Interscholastic Federation is in violation of Title IX because they have been allowing male athletes to participate in the girls' division because they self-identify as female. Yeah, and part of the issue here is that Governor Newsom of California has publicly come out and said that this is unfair, but all he did was talk. He didn't actually do anything or use his, bully pulpit or the power that he has to ensure that changes were made. So actually no changes have gone into place. And we've again seen, as you can see on the screen,
the video, yeah,
male athletes continue to take, awards and school records. So this decision is huge because it essentially says that they have 10 days to do a litany of things to get into compliance. And if they don't, enforcement will include referral to the Department of Justice. And I won't tick off all of the things that they have to do, but a couple that are noteworthy. One is that they have to rescind all the guidance that's out there saying that they should include people based on gender identity into sports. Two is that they need to give back all of the awards, medals, and records to the girls who rightfully won them, but then didn't win them because males beat them. And they also have to issue apologies to the girls who've been wronged by this policy. So I think that those are interesting. The other thing is that they have to notify all schools that they can no longer do this and that biological sex must be the driver in deciding who can participate. So the clock is ticking. They have 10 days. They've already responded very negatively. They've been mocking the Secretary of Education. They've been implying that they're not going to comply. So we'll see, but that's where it stands right now.
Do you think this is also a warning shot to other states as well?
Yes, let's hope.
Okay, let's move on to what's happening in Chicago at this point. The Chicago's Teachers Union President, Stacey Davis Gates, she quoted, I was listening to her speech, she quoted civil rights activist, author James Baldwin during a speech saying this: "The children are always ours, every single one of them, all over the globe." Now, she anticipated, when you see the video, she anticipated some pushback to this. We're going to play what she said.
CTU thinks your children are its children. Yes, we do. CTU thinks all children belong to it, and there's socialist conspiracy ideology. Well, I don't know about all that, but we like children. We educate them, we nurture them, we protect them, we support them, we negotiate for them.
Now, the part of this, obviously, that's getting a lot of play is that when she said CTU thinks your children are his children, and then she said, yes, we do. And you kind of heard her explanation, kind of saying that they're kind of wrapping their arms around children. But you say this is emblematic of something else. What is that?
Well, first of all, her delivery is obviously meant to sort of be obnoxious and sort of like stick her finger in the eye of parents who have concerns about this. I think that, again, I think the way that she said this is unsettling. So on the one hand, is it normal for educators and principals and people to say things like, oh, my kids were so distracted in school today because the prom's tonight, or, our kids come in, way below grade level. Those are shorthands, and I do not think that they are worthy of criticism at all. But in this case, she really was, again, not talking about a school, but she's talking about the union. And the union represents adults. They don't serve children. They don't negotiate on behalf of children. They negotiate on behalf of themselves. And again, it's one thing if they were a really successful, healthy entity wrapping their arms around kids, but they spend $8,700 per kid. They have 55 schools with zero proficiency. Sorry, my dog is growling at me at the moment. and they have 47 schools at less than a third capacity. So like if you negotiate for them, you're doing a very lousy job. And again, I think she represents the union terribly with those comments.
Let me ask you just very quickly, if you can, just wrap it up for us. This complaint that your organization filed against Smith College. What is the, quickly just wrap up the basis of this and why you're doing this?
Smith College is an all-women's college. It's largely the reason why people choose to go there, and they now allow males to attend. And they have, again, all these same policies like in California. It's all gender identity based now, which means that they too are in violation
males,
of Title IX.
People who identify as women. That's what you're talking about here.
Yep.
And you're suing to what? Stop that?
We're basically saying they're in violation of Title IX because Title IX is based on biological sex, and so we filed a complaint with the Office of Civil Rights, so that hoping that they'll open an investigation and then decide that we're right.
We'll come back and tell us how that works out.
I will, absolutely. Thanks for having me, and I apologize for the growling dog over here.
Oh no, what type of dog you got?
I put her in the crate thinking that she'd be quiet, and it didn't work today. Usually works, not today.
Well, what type of dog? We gotta go. What type of dog do you have?
She's a cute little like half lab, half poodle. Her name is Gracie, and I'm a mother of all boys, so she's the only other girl in the family.
Let's see Gracie.
Together. You see, Mark is a dog person too.
Pull her out.
Bye. See you later, Erika.
Bye, guys.